The Harvard CS50X is a free online course offered by Harvard. It's actually the introductory computer science course that they offer to all of their students. It's a fantastic course. It's one of the best courses out there, and over 70% of the people who take this course have never programmed before. So no matter what your computer skill is, we're going to take you from the beginning to being a proficient programmer in both C and on the web using HTML and CSS. So if you haven't taken a course on EDX before, you want to go down here and say register for CS50X. It's going to have you create an EDX login that you'll use to register for any of the EDX courses that are available on the website. Once you've created a login, you'll go ahead and click login right here, and I've already done so, and I'll show you the page. When you log in, it's going to show you all the courses that you're currently taking. Just go ahead and click on CS50X. Now this is the CS50X main page. It's a bit of an introduction. You'll want to scroll down and check out the resources for the class, which is very important, as well as a discussion of the final project and an introductory video. As far as other things on the page, you'll notice over here are the references. These are very important. We have a schedule and a syllabus, frequently asked questions, and an appliance. So here's the schedule. The big thing to remember is that it says try to submit by this date. However, the requirement is that you just submit all of the coursework before December 31st in order to get credit for the class. Now you can take the class as paid if you would like to receive a special certificate from Harvard. However, there is absolutely no necessity to do so. As long as you complete the course in an unpaid manner, submit all of your homework, and do all the requirements, you will receive a certification for completing Harvard CS50X. Now the syllabus is very important. You'll want to note here that we've got a couple of books that they recommend that you read during the course. And reading these books, it's a bonus. It's going to help you out quite a bit later on dealing with some of these things. And now we actually have a list of all the lectures. And you'll notice that up until week 8, you're going to be writing C code. The first week, you're going to be doing just basic computer introduction and using a program called Scratch, which doesn't use any code, but introduces you to the programming concepts. At week 9, you're going to get into the HTML stack, which is HTML, CSS, PHP, and SQL, as well as JavaScript and Ajax, and you'll be able to use these technologies to build a website. And ultimately, the final project that you complete for the course will most likely be a web project. Now, the very next thing you need to do after you've read the syllabus, after you've read the schedule, is take a look at installing the appliance. The CS50 Appliance is a virtual machine. It's a Linux virtual machine that you'll install on your computer. And for anyone who's not familiar with the virtual machine, it essentially gives you the ability to run a little mini computer inside of your computer, physical computer. So, for example, you'll download the virtual machine, you'll start the virtual machine up, and it's going to give you a window that has a desktop that looks just like Windows. And that's where you're going to do all your coursework in. The big benefit is that this is a standardized environment in which every CS50 student sees the same thing, has the same libraries installed, and is working with the same tools. And so it's really quite essential that you get the CS50 appliance installed correctly from the beginning. So you'll want to note that there's a different procedure for installing the appliance based on your operating system. So if you have a Mac, follow those instructions. If you have a Windows PC, follow these instructions. Just a quick overview, they're going to have you download the virtual machine player. They will also have you get a free license, temporary license for this player as well. You're going to download the image that you run on the player, and when it's all said and done, you're going to be able to launch your virtual machine. Now that we've talked about setting up the virtual machine, you're going to want to go ahead and get started on some of the coursework. Go up here, click Courseware in the left-hand corner. And here we have a list of all the week's assignments, lectures, shorts, walkthroughs, and problem sets. So typically there are 2 lectures per week, and in addition to the 2 lectures, they're going to offer short 3 to 5 minute videos called walkthroughs and shorts. These videos are just as important as the lecture themselves. They give you a lot of information in the lecture, they give you even more background information in the shorts and walkthroughs, and they finally give you some information on the problem set itself, but the information in the shorts and walkthroughs is absolutely essential to being able to complete the problem set successfully. So let's go ahead and take a look at a real coding problem set in which you'll be writing C code on your Linux virtual machine. We'll take a look at the HTML specification. Now they're going to give you recommended reading on the C Programmer's Guide. This is very important. You want to make sure that you know how to write C. That's going to be one of the biggest challenges at first. Also be sure to look over the course honesty policy. It gives you just really good instructions on the do's and don'ts of working with other people in the class. Working with other people in the class, in fact, is going to be one of the most important factors for you succeeding in this course. Online, the course pass rate is very, very poor. However, the course pass rate at Harvard itself is extremely high. And the difference between Harvard and online is not the caliber of students, it's actually the environment that they're working in. An environment in which they collaborate with their peers and they share information between each other to find the solution to many of their problems. And so make sure that you're working together with another individual or group when you're going through these problem sets. At the end of each problem set, you'll mostly have to run a command line argument called CS50, check CS50, and this is actually going to automatically check to see whether or not your homework is correct, and you will receive a grade based on the correctness of your homework. Do keep in mind that you can submit your homework as many times as you like. So most likely, at some point in the course, you're going to run into trouble, and the very best place for you to get answers is on the LaunchCode Reddit site. Now Reddit is just a big forum for people to post questions, for people to post answers, for people to post links. And this site's dedicated specifically to not only CS50x, but the LaunchCode CS50x. And so if you go in here and submit a new text post, give it a title and your question, be sure to provide plenty of detail as well as your source code. People in the LaunchCode program get back to you usually pretty quick on what they think a solution might be to your problem. So that's about it. If you have any questions, you can email info@launchcodestl.com.